Welcome to Hey, It's Carly Rae's Book Club. This is Book Hour, where authors will talk their latest novels, reveal their writing process, and play some fun book games. I'm your host, Carly Rae. Today, we have New York Times bestselling author Jenna Welch. We're going to be talking about her upcoming novel, Love and Olives, what inspired her to set this novel in the beautiful Santorini, Greece, if writing was always her passion, and whether or not this will be the final book in the Love and series. Plus, we're going to find out if Jenna could create one reality show that was guaranteed to air, what it would be. We'll dive in right after this. Hello, Jenna. Tell us where you're joining us from.
Hi, I'm in Salt Lake City, Utah. That was adorable. Thank you for that fun intro.
You're welcome. Your upcoming novel, Love and Olives, comes out November 10th and has been described as a Mamma Mia-inspired tale. Here's a close-up of the classic cover that I absolutely love. In this novel, we follow the character of Liv, and you transport the reader to the beautiful Santorini, Greece. Tell viewers more about what they can expect and why they need to read this book.
All right, so this is my third book in the Love and series. This one's set in Santorini, Greece, and it is about a girl who has it all together. Liv has the perfect life. She has great grades. She's doing great in school. She has the perfect family. She has a cute boyfriend and friends. But underneath all of this perfectness, she has a secret. Her dad, who she hasn't seen since she was 8 years old, is an Atlantis hunter, meaning he's been looking for the lost city of Atlantis, and he left all that time ago to go look for it. So beginning of the book, she receives a postcard from him inviting her to Santorini, Greece to help him with a special project.
Okay. And Love and Olives, Liv and her father, as you said, they share a love for the lost city of Atlantis and for Greek myths. Were those things always something you found intriguing, and why you brought them into this novel?
What's funny is no. I am like the ultimate contemporary reader. Like, I have almost no interest in like science fiction or fantasy or anything like that. And I never have. I think I read like Lord of the Rings and I don't know, one or two of like the most popular books that are out. And besides that, that's it. So when I went to Santorini to research, I thought that I was going to write a completely different book. And what I found is everything there was named after Atlantis. And I realized that there are a lot of people who believe that the myth or the story of Atlantis is based on this island of Santorini. So as I started to dig into that, I was like, I dove head first. I was obsessed. I read everything. I watched documentaries. I was on everything from like these very old, weird message boards online to like these really incredible novels that have been published about, you know, all of the different theories that exist. So it was not something I ever thought I would be really into. And I was very surprised by how obsessed I got with it.
Now, did you find out like any fun facts that you like were really surprised about?
Oh, like so many. And the book is definitely full of them.
Okay.
The thing that I was really most interested by were the people who have devoted their lives to looking for Atlantis. Those people fascinated me because really all of the information we have about Atlantis comes from Plato. So from his dialogue. So it's like way, way back. And like kind of the general consensus is, you know, he was telling an allegory about a city that became too powerful and too full of themselves. And so the gods ordered this city to be sunk into the ocean, basically. Yeah. But that has just sparked people's imagination for so long. And there are probably 5 or 6 main sites in the world where people believe that it probably was. Mm-hmm. And I really do think that there must be some basis for this, right? I feel like there probably was some reason that this story came to be.
Yeah. And we've never found the city, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
No. Although Santorini has a lot of really interesting similarities, the way it's shaped, the way it was destroyed by a volcano,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of reasons that people think that it could be Santorini. And there's also a specific type of metal that is talked about in Plato's writings that the people of Atlantis had that has been found.
Okay.
So I think it's called orichalcum. I probably said that wrong, but that is something that people have found. So I don't know. It's very interesting. And I got really, really weird about it. Like I was to the point where I was like, I know where Atlantis is. I totally know where it is. And my husband was like, don't say that anymore. Don't say that to anyone else. It's getting weird.
Well, one thing you're known for in your writing is capturing the essence of a city. What some viewers might not know is you went to high school in Florence, Italy, which is why you brought that into Love and Gelato. Tell us, is Love and Olives based on a real life event you experienced? How did you decide to set it in Santorini?
So this was fun. So you're right. Love and Gelato. I went to high school in Italy, and there were many scenes that were inspired by things I did there or people I knew. But by the time I got to Love and Olives, I knew like I'm going to be spending like a year of my life mentally in whatever place I choose, right? Because that's kind of the fun part. Well, one of the very fun parts about writing these girl abroad stories is that I feel like I've been in Greece for a year because I've spent several hours there in my mind a day for a very, very long time. So I decided this time I'm just going to find some place I want to go. And I want to go someplace I've never been before. Like, what is intriguing? So I remember I was just at my coffee shop where I used to love to write, and I just did a Google search, just anywhere interesting. And I found this tiny bookstore called Atlantis Books. It's in this little village called Ia at the very top of Santorini, which is a very small Greek island. And I was so charmed by it. I just knew immediately that that was the place that I wanted to go. And having a place is super helpful to me for anchoring a story. It wasn't something I knew I would do with my writing, but it's something that's become very important. I want it to feel like a mini vacation or a mini adventure.
Yeah, which is important nowadays with everybody staying in and reading and everything like that.
Yes, so it was supposed to come out in July originally, and then a lot of things happened this year. And so the book was moved back, and I was so worried. I was like, I feel like it's such a good book to take to the beach or to the pool, or, it's this summer read. So I was worried about that. I thought it was the right move. And now that we're here, I'm like, oh my gosh, we need a vacation. Like, this is actually perfect timing for this book to come out, because I think we're all like, here comes winter. Here's all this uncertainty. Like, who does not want to go to a small Greek island and just have an adventure right now?
Yeah. What is one thing you want readers to take away from Love and Olives?
This is the way I think about my books. So I always try to think of them as, okay, so this will sound a little bit weird, but I want my books to taste like a cupcake, meaning I want them to be light and fluffy and sweet and delicious and just a treat. But I want them to have like the substance of like a bran muffin or something, right? Like I want there to be something that you walk away with. Yeah. So this book, it has like all the fun and all of the adventure and humor and everything, but I also really dove into some important topics about family and mental health and, just connections that we make with people. Yeah. So I hope that this book is really fun, but I also hope that it helps readers kind of connect to circumstances in their own life and also gives them hope for relationships that they have.
Yeah. Well, what is one thing you're most excited for readers to experience while reading Love and Olives?
Oh, I think just the island. Like the island is so, so special. I've never seen any place like it. So it's just these sheer cliffs, just straight down to the most beautiful ocean, just this sparkling blue turquoise. And then people had built houses right into the edge of the cliffs. So it's interesting. These little cave houses used to be where like poor people lived, right? They used to be like, if you didn't have money, you would build into the cave. And now they're like, $1 million for one of these cave houses. So anyway, it's just a really unique and stunning place. So I'm really excited for people to explore the island. And I'm really excited for them to learn more about Atlantis, because it really is fascinating. Yeah.
And you spent time in Greece, or you stayed home and like researched the city?
I went there. I can't do that. Yeah. I think I've tried before to write about places I haven't been to, and I just don't think I can't do it justice. So I spent a week there, just doing everything that I thought a YA character would want to do, like jumping off of cliffs, trying everything.
Yeah.
Like, it was a blast. It was really fun.
Yeah. Well, you heard Jenna talk all things Love and Olives, releasing November 10th. Stay tuned, because when we return, we're going to find out if Jenna always wanted to become an author.
Thank you for choosing Three Brothers Wineries. I'm Erica Policelli. I'm one of the partners here at the winery, and I want to tell you a little bit more about our estate. We were founded in 2006 by Dave and Luann Mansfield. We have 40 acres of grapevines, a fully operational farm. All of the wines you're tasting today are from our farm. We have 2 female winemakers, Kim Marconi and Paige Vinson. On our campus, we actually have 3 wineries and a microbrewery. We have an extensive portfolio of not only wine, but also beer, hard cider, wine spritzers, and wine slushy, all manufactured here on site. When we opened our doors in 2007, we had a modest staff of 10. We've grown to employ 40 full-time and 100 part-time employees. We pride ourselves on creativity, innovation, and our company culture. When you make a purchase from Three Brothers Wineries or Warhorse Brewing, you're supporting a majority women-owned small business, and we thank you for that.
Welcome back to Book Hour. I'm your host, Carly Rae, here with New York Times bestselling author Jenna Evans Welch. Jenna, your father is also a New York Times bestselling author. Richard Paul Evans. Was writing always in your blood and something you strive to do?
Yes, I actually always say that I decided I wanted to be a writer before he did. So he wrote his first book when I was 7, and I think I was already on track.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really fun to grow up with someone who was writing novels. He'll be releasing his, I think we said it, like his 40th, maybe 41st novel, which is just, I can't even imagine writing that many. It's so incredible. So yes, growing up around someone who was writing was pretty special. I was always sent tons of books from publishers, which was so fantastic. And yeah, I always had it in my mind. I mean, I was just such a reader as a child. There just were not enough books in the world for me. I just always wanted to read. And I knew that I wanted to write for teenagers from the time that I was 11.
Okay.
Because I'm 34 now. And when I was a teenager, like becoming a teenager, there just was not much in the YA world.
Yeah.
I remember going to my library and there was this like shelf that was like this big for the teenagers. And I was so disappointed by how small it was and also by what was on the shelf.
Yeah.
So I remember telling my mom in our little library that one day I was going to write the books that I wished were there, because I wanted the same fun and adventure and of the books that I'd grown up loving, but I also wanted like maybe some kissing involved, right? Like I was ready for the teenage stuff. So so I've known for a long time.
Yeah. What's your favorite part about being an author?
Oh, let's think about that. I was trying to think about that this morning as I was looking over your questions. There's a lot of things that I love about it, and there's a lot of things that are really difficult for me. As far as like the writing process itself, there is nothing like when the ideas are just coming. That is such an incredible feeling to just feel a world kind of opening up.
Yeah.
Right now I'm in kind of the early stages of a first draft, and I just have ideas all day long. There's Post-it notes all over my house. I just feel like I'm kind of half living in another world, and that is so fun. And then since publishing, I almost think I didn't allow myself to think about what this would be like, but I have been so overwhelmed by how sweet my readers have been. It really, really means a lot to me to get their emails and their notes. I've gotten many messages from people all over the world, and that honestly just kind of blows my mind to think of, teenagers all over reading these books. It's really special to me.
Yeah. Well, your novels have a theme of taking the reader to another reality. Are you always going to set your novel in cities abroad?
So the one I'm working on now is not in Europe. It's not abroad. So I was trying to decide if it was time to move forward from this series, what I should do. And I think the pandemic kind of decided for me, right? Like I knew I needed to travel wherever I was going. I already was starting to feel like it was time for me to explore some new things. Yeah. So the book that I'm working on now is set in the United States. But I think that location and atmosphere is always going to be a big deal to me. Yeah. So this book setting definitely has it's definitely an interesting place, even though it's here where I'm from.
Okay. So you have been to the city you're writing about.
Yes, and I'm trying to get there again so I can get more, details.
Okay. Well, you have 2 little children at home. In your latest Instagram post, you shared a photo of your writing desk in a state of disarray. How do you manage the time to write such amazing novels?
Okay, I'm still sitting at that desk in a state of disarray. I was like, oh no, CarlyRae knows my secret. It's such a mess. It's really difficult. It's really, really difficult to do this with 2 children.
Yeah.
I also have 1 kiddo with special needs, which just adds an extra level because, you know, I've explained it to other people as it almost feels like a part-time job, just managing, you know, doctor's appointments and therapy and medication and, you know, all of the uncertainties.
Yeah.
So it has been really challenging. And there are weeks like this week when childcare gets spotty or things come up and I'm like, okay, like I'm just going to do what I need to do. And kind of everything else falls apart and everyone eats chicken nuggets for dinner every night. But I do really feel like having this career and having these books has really anchored me. It's really incredible to have something that is just my own. And when life has been difficult, to have a space that I can just go and create. I've also joked, like, at least my characters listen to what I tell them to do. Like maybe my kids aren't today, but like I can tell my characters what they should do and that'll be fine. So yeah, I posted that photo on Instagram because I feel really strongly in creating a real picture. Yeah. I think that that's not always the case on social media. And I really want people to know that I am here living a real life and I'm trying really hard and I have many, many failures alongside my successes. And just, I don't know, I just feel like we need to see each other, especially in difficult times. Yeah.
Well, you heard Jenna reveal how she finds time to write her novels. When we return, it is game time and we will see if Jenna would want to live in a world where everyone's thoughts appear in text above their heads.
Coffee. The liquid that helps us start our day or keeps us going at 2 p.m. when our keyboard pillow nap comes calling. You're good. At Fire Department Coffee, we know how important it is to you that your coffee tastes great. Because let's face it, when you're choking down 8 to 10 cups of bean juice a day running back-to-back calls or just trying to keep your wits together while your well-behaved children tug at every last strand of your sanity, we want to make sure that every last drop in your mug is the best coffee you've ever tasted.
Who are you talking to?
That's why at Fire Department Coffee, every stage of your order is watched after by carefully trained professional eyes, like our head roaster, retired fire captain Dave Dave! From our R&D department that's always striving to make sure that your next cup of Fire Department coffee is the perfect balance of wonderful taste and the caffeinated motivation that you need to get through your day.
There has got to be a better way of testing this.
Probably.
Making sure that you get your orders delivered to you as quickly and affordably as possible. Hey Doris, you know you're the only lady I hand deliver to.
Oh, thank you, Jason. I was wondering if you could help me. I think my cat is stuck in the attic again.
Are you sure he's up here, Doris? It's really hot and I can't see anything.
Oh, I'm sure he's still up there. Why don't you take off your shirt? You wouldn't want to overheat.
Not falling again for that, Doris.
And at the end of the day, we're just thankful that we get to follow our passion of making high-quality coffee for thousands of hardworking people all across the world. So thank you for your support, and we look forward to making each and every one of your days better, one cup of coffee at a time.
Cut.
Woo! Good job, guys. Very, very nice. Smooth.
A lady named Doris just ordered a couple bags of coffee and asked for it to be delivered by her steamy ginger firefighter.
Oh, that lady is relentless.
Welcome back. It is game time. Jenna, the first game we are going to play is Table Topics. I'm going to read you hypothetical questions from Conversation Starter World, and we're going to have you answer them.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. The first one is, if you could create one reality show that was guaranteed to air, what would you put on TV?
All right, this is ridiculous, but I have in real life told people I want this show. So where I live in Utah, there are a lot of people with very big families, like a lot of kids. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I see families out grocery shopping and I'm like, I would totally watch a reality show of how on earth they shop and feed for like 13 children. Yeah. like how I'm so fascinated. They're like pushing pallets of like rice and honey and I don't even know what. Fascinates me. I can't seem to feed like the four of us regularly. So
Do you have a name for this reality show?
I'm gonna have to storyboard this more. No name.
All right. The second question is, would you want to live in a world where everyone's thoughts appeared in text above their heads?
Okay, that is like worst case scenario. No, absolutely not. It would just be the absolute worst.
Yeah. All right. If you could live in anyone's head for 15 minutes, who would you pick?
Ooh. Okay, I love Bill Murray, and he does so many funny, interesting things. So I'm probably going to go with Bill Murray.
Okay. What kind of business would you start if given the chance?
Oh, that's really fun. I love coffee shops. Really, really love them. Like I love the vibe, and I love like the ones that have fancy special treats. So I probably have to go with coffee shop.
Okay. And the last one is if you could know the truth behind one mystery or secret, what would it be?
Atlantis, of course. I would love to know exactly what happened with Atlantis.
Yeah. All right. Well, that concludes table topics. Now we're going to play Would You Rather? Also questions from conversationstarterworld.com. All right. So the first one is, would you rather always be 10 minutes late or 20 minutes early?
Oh, man. 20 minutes early because I'm always 10 minutes late and it's the worst.
All right. The second is, would you rather be able to talk to any animal on Earth or know the full history of every object you touch?
Ooh. I'd probably have to go with talk to animals. Yeah, that would be fun.
All right. Next, would you rather never have to stand in line again or have every light turn green when you approach it?
Never have to stand in line again.
All right. Number 4, would you rather be the inventor of a medicine that cures a deadly disease or the first person to explore a planet?
Oh, wow. I mean, right now, I think we're going to have to go with medicine to cure deadly disease, although exploring a planet sounds incredible too.
Yeah. And the last one is, would you rather be forced to dance anytime you heard music or be forced to sing along with the lyrics?
Oh, dance. No one wants to hear my singing. They can put up with my dancing, maybe.
Well, that concludes our game time. Jenna, I want to thank you for being on Book Hour and joining us today. Before you go, tell viewers if you're writing more books.
Yes, I am. I'm working on a standalone book right now, which I haven't been able to talk about much yet, but it's kind of witchy. It has a fun setting. It's contemporary, and it's about several generations of women, which I'm so excited about. So it's a really, really fun project.
Yeah. And now, is there going to be any more books in the Love Anne series?
As of right now, no.
Okay.
Right now, I'm thinking it will just be these 3.
Okay. And if viewers want to follow you on social media, where can they find you?
Instagram is the place that I hang out the most. So it's Jenna Evans Welch.
All right. You heard Jenna. Go and check her out now. All of her social media handles are in the description below. Jenna, thank you for being on Book Hour. And for those watching, I hope you have a great day.
Thank you so much.